The glasses aren't going dark, are they?
No, the glasses are
Okay.
good. What can you remember about your earliest camping memory?
We used to go camping quite a lot. The one I remember most is probably Lakes Entrance in Victoria. Mum and Dad always had 2 weeks off after harvest. We're wheat farmers. And there was 4 boys then. There was 5 eventually, but 4 there. And Dad had a good rig. He had an old Ford custom line. I think that was the first custom line that was produced. And it was a pretty flashy car in town in those days. And he had one of those little trailers which really, it was just a bed on wheels. And I think I used to sleep with one young brother in the back of the car. We'd fill it all up with pillows or something. Another brother would just sleep in the front. And I guess the youngest one, which would have been Peter, would have slept in the caravan with Mum and Dad. Fishing was the big thing, I think, for us then. I think I got my first reel on that trip. And I dropped it in the water and poor old Dad swam around. I thought he was going to get eaten by sharks. So they had to buy me another one. He couldn't find it. So yeah, fond memories. That's a real equaliser. I think camping is going back to the beginnings of humanity. After all, that's what we've done since humans were on the earth. And we're going right back to that. And you could be, you'd have a millionaire on one side of the camp and a swagging on the other, and you're all equal. You're around the campfire. And I always think too, when you light a campfire, it becomes home immediately. You know, at night, it lights all the trees around the camp, and the edge of the light it becomes your home. You know, and I think it's a wonderful thing to be able to create a home every time you stop along the road. And I think if you're a kid going out camping, you'll experience a lot more of that, and I think that will stick to your memory, and maybe you'll become a better Aussie because of it. I think our kids are in danger, or the parents are in danger of letting their kids get too much into the virtual world. And you know, once again, as a conservationist, I think if kids only know the virtual world, they're not really aware of what's going on in the real world. As I wasn't a farmer when my kids were born, doing shows and recording, so I didn't take my kids out as much as I wish I had have, because I guess most weekends when kids were out of school, I'd be working anyway. But at Christmas time was a big thing for us. We would go back to the northwest, where I've still got a brother on the land there, and their uncles were on the land there. So it was a big thing to go there for Christmas and go on the McIntyre River and go fishing for cod. But it wasn't the fishing that was important. The important thing was, once again, having the campfire and sleeping overnight under the stars.
So what camping do you do now?
Yeah, well, recently a few mates, my brother included, and our ladies took off to Ether Station at the Simpson Desert. I got my Toyota unit rigged up with a solar panel and a second battery. And I actually have sleep apnea, so I've got to have an inverter so I can have my sleep apnea machine. What I've got on my vehicle is it's just a pull-out tent. It just comes out from the side of the ute and the legs drop down, and Meg and I just sleep on a couple of stretchers.
You've got a new album coming out. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I have a new album called Butcher Bird, and it's going back to once again my love of birds, because I have a couple of mates, butcher birds, the pied butcher birds, up in my valley above the Coolangatta Airport. And so the first song on the album is called Valley of His Dream, which is about, really it's third person, but it's about me, maybe what I'll be like in 3 or 4 years. And it's really getting back to what I was before I went into this business. I'd like to have a chookyard again. I won't do a farnham and say I'm not going to work again, because that would be a lie, I think. You know, people keep making you offers you can't refuse, especially with a song like True Blue. You know, all you have to do is come sing True Blue, we'll be happy.